Hey guys, Peter here to tell you about the latest from Silent Skies Nectar, out February 4th on Napalm Records. This album has 10 tracks, 47 minutes in length, and this is the band's second full-length studio album. They are a duo featuring Tom England from Evergrey and Vikram Shankar, a multi-instrumentalist. Now, as far as the record is concerned from a structural perspective, the album feels very straightforward, very simple. It's a very linear, balanced, and cohesive album. What you get at the beginning is exactly what you're going to get at the end. It's a record that doesn't have a lot of peaks and valleys. It doesn't have these dynamic movements from song to song that allow the record to be volatile. On the other hand, this album is very calm. It's like a calm sea after a storm. It really has that sense of balance throughout. It gives you a journey, but a journey that doesn't necessarily paint the picture of where it's going to end. It's really up to the listener to experience each and every single song, every step that you take down that path, and then when you get to the end of that path, you have to look back and realize everything that you've gone through and perhaps define what that journey was all about. I don't feel like this record does that for you. You have to do it for yourself based on how you felt towards the album. Once you get into the soundscape, the album also feels very simple, and that is because it has this stripped down nature to it. The stripped down nature of the record stays true throughout the entire album, even though you see songs where the volume and the overall nature and depth of the record starts to increase and grow and morph as you progress. But the feeling that you get at the end of each and every single song is one of simplicity, one that it was easy for you to grasp and understand the concept behind the track, the execution of the track, and the atmosphere that it put forward. This album is all about beautiful soundscapes. It really paints beautiful pictures with every single song. But don't be fooled by the beauty of the album, because there's a lot of darkness underneath it. There's the calm seas, and you see the beauty in it, but there's always a storm brewing underneath. And this record is a little bit like that. The simplicity that it has, it gives you this sense of beautiful, calm nature throughout the entire experience of the album. But at the same time, once you start to go deeper within the record, once you start to go deeper within the soundscape and within the lyrical content, you start to find some darkness peeking at every single corner. So the duality of these two worlds really becomes the calling card of this record and really becomes the essence of the album itself. Within the soundscape, I think you have to look at two main pillars. You have to look at the cellos and you have to look at the keys, the pianos. When you look at the cellos, you have Raphael Weinroth Brown from Leprous doing the work on the cellos, and it's magnificent. It adds a lot of depth without necessarily jumping into the forefront and taking center stage as far as the sound is concerned. It's more of a layer than anything else, but it's a very important layer because it adds depth. It makes the record feel slightly bigger, not taking anything away from that stripped down nature that it has, but definitely adding some quality on the back end that allows these songs to feel a little bit better connected, to feel like they have more of a soul, more of a life within them. The work of the cellos throughout this entire album is magnificent and really adds quality to the overall atmosphere and experience. On the other hand, you have the keyboards, you have the keys, the pianos, magnificent job. They become the driving force. They're a little bit of the motor, perhaps more in some songs, less in others, but they're always there to guide and to create that force that allows these songs to have a sense of movement. They really create that movement on each and every single track. And then the vocals come on top of it to be your narrator, to be the guide of what the song has in store for you from an emotional perspective that's hidden within the sound that it carries. But the pianos, the keyboards, phenomenal throughout. Beautiful, dark, somber, melancholic, all of the above. You could use all of these different words to describe how they come across, but they become the spinal cord of everything that is happening throughout the soundscape of this album. All other pieces are there to complement that experience, but they are the spinal cord. I already mentioned the vocals. The vocals by Tom England are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this man could sell ice to Eskimos. He's dark, he's somber, he's melodic. He guides your experience. He guides his own understanding of these songs and allows you to better grasp what he's trying to tell you with every single track. Not just from a lyrical perspective, but even musically. The way his voice interacts with the instruments, interacts with the sound, it becomes another instrument. This album almost feels like an instrumental record using vocals as that added instrument. absolutely magnificent from start to finish. Very balanced performance. What you get in the first track is pretty much what you're going to get all the way throughout. There are a few nuances here and there on some songs where perhaps you needed a little bit of a different delivery in order to connect better with the atmosphere of the track and the lyrical content, but overall it's a pretty uniform performance, that adds to that simplicity that comes across constantly throughout the entire album. Overall, outside of metal, if you enjoy a good sounding record, if you enjoy a more classical approach style sound with some pop elements and with a vocalist, like I said before, can sell ice to Eskimos, this record is definitely for you. I mean, you can't come in expecting a heavy album. This record is all about emotion. It's about atmosphere. It's about soundscape. It's about creating layers and simplicity of sound and telling messages in a way that it's not intrusive. It's really introspective in nature throughout the entire existence of the record itself and how you feel towards it. Magnificent album by these two guys. Silent Skies really nails it with Nectar, an album that comes together and from all different angles, from all different perspectives. As far as favorite songs are concerned, I want to start off with Neverending. It starts very stripped down. The keys drive the experience of this song, something that's true throughout the entire album. The vocals then come on top and start to drive a little bit of the atmosphere, the essence of what this track is all about. The cellos come in and add depth. You start to see the song morph. Once the cellos come in, the song starts to become slightly bigger. Not heavier, but more robust, a little bit wider. It allows the track to feel fuller, to gain momentum, to grow. There's a sense of growth from beginning all the way to the end. With each passing second, this track expands, it gets bigger, it becomes better, it becomes better. That's exactly the progression that this song has, and the vocals stay very, very balanced. So while musically there is an slow exponential growth, if you will, a balance of the two, vocally it stays very connected, very straightforward from beginning to end. So musically the song is moving in one direction, while vocally staying very balanced underneath it. Next you have Let It Hurt, one of the most sorrowful songs on this album. I mean, it really hurts to listen to this song. There's a lot of pain, there's a lot of sorrow captured in the way this song is put together, vocally and then musically. The piano and vocals together really allow you to understand what this track is all about. It allows you to concentrate on what the lyrics are telling you. Very introspective, and makes you really feel the song at every single movement. The pain and sound and the pain in the vocals just drips throughout the entire track. It's undeniable. It's every single turn. You can feel that pain. You can feel that sorrow. The cellos bring a dark, somber atmosphere to the track. Not that it needed it, because it was already there, but really enhances it. It makes it more palpable. It makes that darkness, that somber nature that the track already had, feel a little bit easier to digest, because it's very melodic and it's very beautiful at the same time. So it's easier for you to deal with pain and sorrow when it's coming from a very beautiful place. And that's exactly how this song is put together. The chorus is magnificent. The track explodes ever so slightly in that chorus. It really feels like an outburst of emotions. Leading up to that point is more introspective. Once it gets into the chorus, it's more of an outburst of everything that's been brewing on the inside. Beautiful track all around. Last but not least, Better Days. It starts off electronic, very electronic, almost pop electronic sound, and then it fades away from that essence, from that sound, from that experience, and you start to see the piano sound come in and start to take control of where this track is going to go musically, with the vocals really holding a predominant role throughout the entire experience. This is one of those tracks that really feels like the vocals are in the forefront, and all the sound and everything that is happening with it is just noise in the background. It's just kind of filling in the blank space in order for the vocals to have the perfect backdrop. That's exactly how this track is put together from beginning all the way to the end. It progresses. Now, it doesn't stay linear. The song really moves. It feels like it's growing, it's morphing, it's adding elements, it's becoming bigger, the volume is increasing, and that gives a little bit of a sense of movement to a track that otherwise would feel like it's just stagnant. It's not moving at all. I also like the fact that at the end it goes back to those electronic elements that we had at the beginning. So it's a track that has a sense of growth within itself, but the two bookends, one at the beginning and one at the end, are exactly the same. So it goes full circle with the growth existing within itself. This is it, Silent Skies with Nectar, out February 4th on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts on the band, on the singles. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.